Greetings and welcome, fellow riders, to another episode of Let's Play Darksiders 2 Definitive Edition. Alrighty, let's get going. This little side quest for the Adjudicator. Capturing lost souls. Yeah. So once again, been thinking a little bit about why I don't particularly care for the Deadlands all that much, as compared to the Forged Lands, for instance. I mean, partially I feel it's to do with the goals set out. Plus, yeah, you know, the makers are just inherently more likable, even if some of them are somewhat forgettable. I have already completely forgotten the name of the dude you learn the skills from and the girl who operates the forge. Really, the only one that stayed with me more or less are Khan and the old dude that sacrificed himself, even though I don't remember his name. And of course Oran, because he was sort of important, although not all that interesting, because he didn't really say anything, because we only got to know him at the very end. But it feels a little bit more sympathetic to apply their goals, I suppose. I mean, it is very simple for them, or at least in that particular chapter. As you know what you need to do. You need to defeat the corruption to get to the Tree of Life. So you need to find some way to defeat the corruption that is making that impossible.
As you command.
And along the way you help the makers to get their land back to semblance of what it once was, rekindling their hope a bit, you know, fairly inspired stuff. Whereas in the Deadlands, what do? We wander basically aimlessly, trying to figure out a way to get into the Well of Souls, which we are told we can only do if we talk to the king, apparently. And what does he do? He sends us on an errand that he, by all rights, should be doing himself. Now, I don't know if he's glued to that throne. Perhaps he is. In that case, it should really be obvious that he cannot move, but even so. I mean, what kind of a king is he that he cannot control his own lords? I swear, in the Middle Ages, you never had this kind of problem. Either you controlled your vassal lords, or they killed you and became the king themselves. All I'm saying, it doesn't really inspire strength. But my biggest gripe about this entire quest comes when we complete it. So I'll just leave you all guessing why that is annoying to me. Hey, another Book of the Dead page. Alright, so we just need to get across, eh? Alright.
Impossible.
Alright, fine, and I'll do it myself. But there just seems to be a lack of story, I suppose, as to why things are the way they are in the Deadlands. I mean, the makers, we can sort of understand why they are more or less dwindling. They are no longer needed. Everything has already been made. Their purpose is filled. Nothing left for them to do but die. Which is sad a little bit, because they are, well, somewhat interesting. What is the purpose of the Deadlands again? For the souls to pass through so they can be judged and move on to the next life. Yet we find nothing but aimlessly wandering skeletons and other beasts. Doing nothing, really, aside from attacking us. Because we apparently are alive. I don't know, the pretense is a little bit thin, let's put it that way. Alright, come on. Need to get my gun out, please. Enough, Raph. We could use some weapons with a little bit more stun. Ouch. Right. Did I pick up any better gear, by the way? My hands are full again. So these are reasonably interesting scythes. I can't upgrade these things. I really need to get to a shop because I'm running out of space. Right, I'm currently using that. Well, RAF cost isn't really stopping me. And this gives me more defense. I'll keep this one, I think. Currently I'm using Pathfinder cover, which is helping a little bit. But I need way more defense because this stuff all hits me way too hard. Yeah, I'm gonna stick to the Pathfinder wraps for now, I think. I mean... yeah, more strength just will not help me in this case. I need to get either way more defense, before it becomes really useful, or just something which increases my arcane and critical damage. Arcane critical damage. Alright, well... if need be, I can sacrifice some stuff too. Are you kidding? Not even enough to fill up my wrath bar. I need something epic. Pathfinder Wraps of Health. This one I'll take. Those are some very good wraps. A little bit of health regen. Yep, it's regenerating. Alright, that is a... what is that? Skeletal Champion. Ouch, that was a little bit too close. Just kite him for a bit, get my health back. How do you figure? Oh, hey. That is cheating. Here, play with my friends. I'd rather you didn't. Alright. The key. The one thing that mattered. Now we just need to get down there, I guess. Now we need to go back. Let's just keep following dust for now. Before we get completely lost. Yeah. Very little sympathy in the land of the dead. But also this entire world just feels too big for what you do in it. Well, it feels way more expansive than it should be, and I guess that's partially to make up for the fact that it needs to feel about as big as the Forged Lands do. And the Forged Lands actually manage to be big without being overly big. I mean, there is a certain amount of travel time between dungeons, and that's fine. Because that gives you a brief moment to just relax, enjoy the sights a bit, plan your next strategy, perhaps think about the story somewhat, and just randomly beat up on some monsters in between. But for me, it just doesn't feel quite the same in the Deadlands for some reason. Mostly because I don't fully understand why the dead are so mad at me for. I mean, sure, I am called Death, but then still, I am not responsible for every dead person in here. I mean, that's almost as silly as people who are actually mad at the figure of Death, the Grim Reaper, in stories for taking them to the place where they need to go when they're dead. Because that's his job. Why would you get mad at people for doing their jobs unless their jobs are really just to be assholes, but... He didn't decide that you needed to die. Well, at least I hope not. Then again, it really depends a little bit on which interpretation of death you have, of course. I mean, the Death from Discworld is quite a jovial fellow. That's not the Death we're playing with here, although I suspect some of the wit in the Death here is partially inspired by that Death. I guess you do need to keep a very jovial attitude when you're just being portrayed as someone who everyone is supposed to fear. Even though death is perfectly natural. Right. Do I need to go up? No, apparently not. Alright. Just a couple of blind jumps. My favorite. /S. Right. Alright, there's the sword again. Another guy in a suit. You almost imagine him holding a briefcase in his right hand, don't you? Right. Not a friendly face. Hey. Ah, come on. I get that there has to be an impenetrable barrier around me, but can it please be a little bit less obnoxious? Oh, come on. How many combos is that? I do dislike it when they force me to fight in arenas way too small for the enemies involved. Alright, come on. Focus. Double teaming. Well, in that case, I will want a receipt. And a death certificate. Damn it, wrong one. Alright. Phew. That'll do for this episode. Thank you all for watching. See you all next time.